Okay, so this is a brief description of the stock for Nintendo. This is a stock that I have been very interested in because of the company itself. Nintendo has been around for a very, very long time. Japanese company, creates video games. Obviously, most popular Super Mario Brothers. Everybody is very familiar with. And their current console is the Nintendo Switch, with rumors of a Switch 2 coming out potentially later this year. So I just kind of wanted to show why I'm interested in this stock and why I think it is a good purchase for most folks. Full disclosure, I do have a few shares, very few, about 6 shares of this stock, and I got in at an average price of about $13.18. So what I do like about them is that they do have a dividend. They have a dividend yield of just under 2%, about 1.7, and it's a fairly consistent dividend as well. It's been paid for quite a while. But out here you can see this is our max duration. We had a little bit of a lull down here. And a lot of this you have to consider was during, after the housing bust, so a lot of the industries were down during this time period. But specifically things like video games and things that could be considered luxuries would obviously be lower spending, including the fact that around this time period, the this is pre Nintendo Switch. So this is like during the Nintendo like Wii U era, or 3DS, I guess. Those items that weren't as popular as the Nintendo Switch. Um, and also, PlayStation and Xbox had both launched new consoles, so there was a lot more drive towards playing on those consoles at that time. So after the Switch comes out, you can start to see quite a steady increase. And now why I think it makes a much more interesting stock is because of their diversification out into an actual successful movie world. There was the 90s Mario Brothers movie that wasn't very successful. There was a short lived cartoon as well that isn't really popular in syndication. However, the new Mario Brothers movie had one of the highest box office gross of the year, and they did just announce that they will be developing another movie as well. So I suspect this is only going to increase, and they will find themselves in a really good product loop because millennials that grew up on these video games now have the disposable income to play them, and they want to play them with their kids. So I suspect that this stock is probably not going to be, it's probably not going to grow dramatically, but I would not be surprised to see Nintendo go over 20, within the next year, depending on how quickly the Switch 2 is able to be developed. So, just showing some quick stats here. 1 week down, 1 month down. However, 3 months were up. And you have to consider that the Mario movie had come out in late last year. Year to date up. And here's the 1 year turn. So I do not believe that this is going to be something that's going to correct and go down. If it does, very, very lightly. However, this stock should increase and we should see this rise into the 20s, hopefully by the end of the year. So that's my take on this particular stock.